Alright, YouTube, this is the Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping All Subjects channel. I want to break down and conclude this Dealing with Selfish People in the Dealing with People series. So, let's put everything together on this video. The first thing I said is to match their energy. You shouldn't always be doing more for people than they doing for you. So that's number one. It shouldn't be that way. Sometimes you got to turn people down just because, especially if you know they selfish. If you know that you can't lean on them in times of need, whether it be just a pat on the back or whether it be just an encouragement or whether it be this, whether it be that. Because when you don't, like I said, you create entitlement. And this is why a lot of marriages end in divorce, because you create that entitlement. You be doing way more for people than they do for you. And then when you do that, what happens is the moment you don't do something, the moment you don't say something that they want you to do or they want you to say, stuff just starts to fall apart. Just like at work. It works the same way everywhere. If you always going the extra mile, then you decide, man, I'm not going the extra mile this time. People are going to expect you to go the extra mile. So it's going to create an entitlement in them. So the next thing is, do not create entitlement. Do not build princes and princesses. Like I said, you got to match people's energy and you got to know that you the king. Like if you're in a relationship and you ain't the king, then you need to get out of that relationship no matter what. You're supposed to be the king. If you're not the king, the kingdom is going to crumble. I don't care what nobody in this world say. They try to change everything. The devil be trying to deceive people and stuff like that about how things are supposed to be. If you're a man, you're supposed to be the king. And if you're the king, you're supposed to get catered to and get everything first. Where's all this stuff about sacrificing for everybody else? You the king. They supposed to be sacrificing for you. And then you return the favor. I mean, that's just the way it's supposed to be. See, I think one of the problems in the United States is people don't know how kingdoms operate. So if you don't know how kingdoms operate, then you have kingdoms and you have the wilderness. If you don't have a kingdom, you have the wild. That's just all it is to it. That's all it is to it. And y'all wonder why all these single mothers, well, I can't say all, but most, having so many problems, because they have the wild in their house. It's not a kingdom. It's the wild. So don't create entitlement. Don't build princes and princesses. The next thing, don't let people, selfish people, waste your time. You got to tell them no sometimes. They selfish. It ain't gonna matter what you do for them. If a person is selfish, it ain't gonna matter what you do for them. They always gonna want more. And then they're gonna give you less. Because let me show you how people nowadays are. People nowadays, they like people they shouldn't like, and they don't like people that they should like. The people that be trying to help them, they don't like them, they don't want them, they don't respect them. Nowadays, if you do too much for a person, it's gonna create less and less respect. You guys better know that when y'all getting in these relationships thinking you gonna gain and earn her love. You ain't gonna gain and earn nothing. You ain't gonna earn her love. She gonna disrespect you and give her love to Pookie. That's just the way it is. I mean, let me tell you something. And all of y'all that want traditional wives, and we're gonna talk about later in Isaiah 4:1, that's gonna be the last video. You better know and understand that these women ain't traditional. And in fact, some of them that used to be traditional, they ain't traditional now. They'll complain for 20 minutes over having to pick up a pair of socks or a piece of paper. How is that traditional? That's not traditional at all. And these be the stay-at-homes too. Don't think they don't. So you talking about you want her to stay at home. You better make sure you making enough money, and you better make sure you managing it right. So otherwise, you don't know what you getting yourself into, playboy. You better know how to manage it right, and you better be making enough. If you making $40,000 and you try to have a stay at home, watch what happens to you. Just watch. You better not buy nothing. You better not finance no car or nothing, because let me show you something. I'm gonna show you what happened to me. This is what happened. Sometimes it be the people on your job. You start getting too much, they start acting different, and your work environment becomes very uncomfortable. And you better take that into consideration, because when you start financing cars and houses, you better realize and recognize that you could lose your job. You could be forced to quit so you won't jump on nobody. It'd be all type of stuff. On multiple occasions, I had to quit because things was just getting too heated. And I'm not the type that's gonna argue with you for no 10 years. That's just not who I am. 15 years, 10 years. I'm not finna go back and forth with you. Sometimes you gotta just get away from people. When they settle themselves in drama against you, that's the time you might have to just turn them loose. You might have to turn that job loose. You know, you gotta be selfish. You say, but I got kids, man. Okay. Well, when you ain't around because your blood pressure go up to 190 or 230, I tried to tell you. Some people have high blood pressure because of their job. It's not even that serious. It's not. That's why I say you better be managing that money, because you might have to make a move that's best for you. That's not selfish. When you make moves that's best for you, that's not always selfish. Because at the end of the day, you have to be free and you have to be alive. What I'm talking about with this selfishness is people who are about themselves. So it comes a time where you have to be a little selfish, though. When people selfish against you, be selfish against them. That's the next thing. You don't take. Now I can see, sometimes I can actually see when people want to rub stuff in people's face. But you don't take people who could have helped you get there when you get there. You need to find some fresh people and deal with them. Ain't no way I'm finna have people around that wasn't calling me because of my economic status at one time or another. I'm not dealing with those types. I'm just not. Like, people, when they think you ain't doing good, they distance themselves. But when you start doing good and everybody I'm the type of person that stay distant because I'll expose you. I'm the type of person that'll be like, man, that dude just riding bandwagon coattails. He wasn't nowhere around. He distanced himself. Then it be people that they be down in the dumps, you be lifting them up, and then they just disappear once they find somebody else to do it. That's a person that was either jealous of you or didn't like you like that to begin with. Fall on your face then. But next time you down, don't call me. That's how people be. So, like I said, in the first one, you gotta let them fall. Let them fall. I remember it was this one particular person, and I told this story before too. I was just always like cheering this person up, there for this person, concerned for this person, care for this person. But then I asked this person for a simple favor. that was going to be returned the next day, and they couldn't do it. I never looked at that person the same. Even though I was still trying to be nice to that person, I never looked at them the same after that. And over time, their true colors show. Because that's the next thing. Know when you're dealing with somebody that's selfish. You got to know when you're dealing with them and know who you're dealing with. Because like I said, you can't match their energy if you don't know. The next thing is you can't be needy for people, because this also, like I remember when we was young, it was this, my grandmother had this friend, and she started dating my uncle. I had noticed, like, as I started getting older, I noticed how she was running around trying to help other people, right? Always running around doing this for people, doing that for people. And I'm looking like, she's such a nice person. But I started noticing how selfish the other people were to have her doing that. And before you know it, my uncle was bringing other women around right in their face. And it's like, I felt sorry for her. I ain't never say nothing, but I felt sorry for her. I was looking like, man, that's cold. And she was waiting on him hand and fist. When he was locked up, she was the one writing him. She was the one sending the money. He got out and dealt with her a little bit, but then he started bringing other women right in her face. I was like, man, that's cold. That is cold. So I looked at her like she shouldn't have never been doing that for them people. What did she get out of that? Nothing. Her faithfulness was matched by unfaithfulness, and that's what happens. That's why you gotta match people's energy, man. Because her faithfulness was matched with unfaithful. It was bad, man. It was a shame. And then it's crazy because she passed away and nobody even really talked about it. Like, for a while, I thought she was still alive till somebody told me. I'm like, wow. Like, I've been having my zoom lens on people for a while. And it's not that if you're not careful, rather, you'll start not liking these people. When you start seeing them for what they are, you'll start not even liking them. Like I say, you gotta match their energy. That's why I said, like, from now on, when I'm out here working, I ain't gonna be answering the phone as much. For what? Think about it like this. I've been in ministry for, this 2023, like 23 years. One reason why I decided to take a couple steps back, because I was looking at it like, I ain't never demonstrated hypocrisy to these people, but yet they be going to other guys' churches that be having babies out of wedlock, be doing all kind of stuff, and they be supporting them financially. So I'll be like, I'm just gonna wait till I get the right place, right time, and if that time don't come soon, I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna sit on all my knowledge and all my wisdom. I'm gonna sit on it. Because a lot of time people won't appreciate it. They'll be listening to bipolar content creators who can't stop cussing, living immoral lifestyles, and they'll be flocking to them. That's how it be. They'll be flocking to them, people who don't even like you, don't care about you, they just want your money. But they'll be all up in this person's church, all up in this person's life. That's how it be. So I got the hourglass going now. I done put the hourglass on the table. Because after a while, the prophet gets tired. Get tired of sharing stuff with people who won't listen. Sharing stuff with people who can't even hit the like button. Sharing stuff with people who won't, they playing monkey see, monkey do. So when people playing monkey see, monkey do, if you not the one that's dictating the action, then they ain't gonna have a reaction. So after a while, like when it's like I'm almost to the point where I'm like, I don't care if the end of the world come. I don't. Like, at first my attitude was, man, we got to get these people, we got to get them in right standing with God, this, that, and the other. But you can't, like the old saying go, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. It says it like this in the Bible. Rebuke a fool and they will hate you. People hate the truth. It's shown. Look who they put in office. The truth was the numbers. Interest rate on houses down. Black colleges largely supported. All these good numbers, and they still didn't like him. And the reason why they didn't like him, it was a couple reasons. They didn't like Trump because they don't, like, a lot of people be jealous of rich people, for one. And for two, they didn't like Trump because Trump said it exactly how he felt, even if it came out wrong. People want you to act fake. Like how Biden, people be bringing them harsh questions and he'll just be trying to eat ice cream. Well, I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. I ain't gonna say that. So, you gotta match their energy. That's the main thing. You gotta match their energy. I'm done being selfless. That's over with. That's over with. And take it from me. You think you gonna win these women with that? You not. They're gonna be right online, right on the game system, emailing dudes, right online, talking to dudes, flirting with dudes, complimenting them more than you. They gonna be secretly liking guys. You can't win these women over, man. When you dealing with a selfish person, you gotta know how to deal with them. And like I said, that's the next thing. Do not try to win over a selfish person. Because in the process of doing so, you're going to waste your time and your life. I'm about me out here. Like, a lot of times I be preaching from experience, but a lot of times I be preaching from other people's experiences. It's what I see as a prophet. My eyes is open. My eyes is open. So, and the devil, I want y'all to know that the devil plays on this greatly. Here's what the devil does. The devil, when you like a real person, like a prophet, or you just like a genuine type of person, the devil is going to go before the Most High and try to, like, keep you under wraps, like try to hold you back, like try to make it where people can't hear you, can't see you. Like, if y'all know anything about the superheroes, like Sentry, that's what they did. Remember Sentry? That's what they did to Sentry. They couldn't beat Sentry, so what they did was they said, we're going to just ignore him. They said, we're going to ignore him. But when they tried to ignore Sentry, he would go into this thing called Void. And when he goes in the Void, they lost anyway. They lost anyway. When all they had to do was just work with Sentry. But what they tried to do is they said, oh no, this is how we gonna do it. We're going to ignore him. We're gonna act like he never existed. And he went in the Void and they still lost. So that's what I mean by match their energy. When they try to act like you don't exist, act like they don't. Think about it. You ever seen like a person on Facebook or something, right? They'll have like 3,000 friends and they'll say something and nobody won't respond. Like I said, match their energy. Like when they do that to you, do that to them. Do it to them. Are you being petty? How's it being petty? Who's being petty is the one that's doing that to them. When it comes back to them, that's not pettiness. That's just karma. That's them reaping what they sow. Like people will laugh at people and then stuff happen to them. That's why you should never laugh when stuff goes wrong with somebody. It's not funny. You should be trying to figure out, how can I help this person? Because when you laugh at somebody that's down, you gonna go down. So you don't laugh at somebody that's down. I talked about on the short how a lot of these dudes, in particular black guys, they be talking about who's broke and who ain't. Look at the Tate brothers. All they did was put people down. And now look at the situation they in. See, I think a lot of people, not just Americans, just all over the world, what they'll do is they'll do whatever they have to do to get rich. But you don't realize that everything you do, every action has a reaction. So he's talking about God favored them, all this and that. That's another thing the devil do. You'll be in a bad situation and somebody else will be bragging like God is helping them. Don't pay no attention to that. How is the Most High helping somebody that's bullying women? Yeah, if you think the devil is God. You bullying women, forcing them to do stuff. Then you try to say, God likes me. God, no, okay, you said that. So what's your definition of God then? Because the Bible says he's not a respecter of persons. So people be on there bragging. You ever stop to think that maybe you just made a couple choices that worked? Because, and that's another thing, that's the next thing. When people be bragging, don't listen to that. Stay focused on what you need to do to get where you need to get. Because it be all type of reasons. People be having a chip on their shoulder because their father wasn't around or their father wasn't treating them right. It be all types of reasons that led to them bragging. You think I want to be them Tate brothers? Hell no. Especially that old Tristan with his goofy self talking about he tried to put down autistic people on the sneak. They doing better than you right now, man. And I'm not gloating on them. I ain't gonna say I don't like them like that, neither one of them. But I'm not gloating that they went down, because I don't do that. I'm just proving my points. And now that I've proved them, I'm going to close. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel.